Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to cover your May the 8th, just for today, in a meditation. I hope that you're having a wonderful morning. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. The title of today's meditation is Teachable. Sounds interesting. We have learned that it is okay to not know all the answers, for then we are teachable and can learn to live our new life successfully. That comes from the basic text, page 96. In a way, addiction is a great teacher. And if addiction teaches us nothing else, it will teach us humility. We hear it said that it took our very best thinking to get to NA, excuse me. Now that we're here to learn. Yes, we have heard that, huh? The NA fellowship is a wonderful learning environment for the recovering addict. We aren't made to feel stupid at meetings. Instead, we find others who've been exactly where we've been and who found a way out. All we have to do is admit that we don't have all the answers, then listen as others share what's worked for them. As recovering addicts and as human beings, we have much to learn. Other addicts and other humans have much to teach us about what works and what doesn't. As long as we remain teachable, we can take advantage of the experience of others. Just for today, I will admit that I don't have all the answers. I will look and listen to the experience of others for the answers I need. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the wee version of Serenity Prayer. A moment of silence now. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. I do believe addiction is a great teacher. I know my personal addiction has taught me many things. It's taught me more about who I am not than it has taught me about who I am. The main thing that it taught me that I am not is God. Now, I'm not saying I haven't learned a lot about my limitations and liabilities and being an addict in recovery. I have learned a lot. So I'm just saying the main, most powerful thing that it has taught me is that I'm definitely an addict and that I'm not God. And so the concept of being able to surrender becomes more probable for me to be able to actually do it. And I have to keep that in perspective. I've always been a 150% type person. And so a lot of times it wasn't always clearly evident to me that whoever or whatever situation I was involved in wasn't bringing anything, maybe 50%, but a lot of times not anything other than their person or their problem to the table. And so because I always go above and beyond, it didn't appear to be that the person was non-committal, right? Or the organization or the situation didn't have my best interest at heart. It didn't appear to be the case because of the type of person I am. So for me to have an understanding through my failures, my pain, my inability, even in all of my best humanity, my best thinking, right? My 150% being brought to the table. In all of that, for me to still have to experience loss, still experience failure, still experience dead end relationships, financial brokenness, spiritual brokenness, mental brokenness, right? Bankruptcy is a term people like to use because you can be bankrupt in all these spiritual principles. But for me to be bringing my 150% and still end up as though I wasn't trying at all, right? It's humbling. And in some cases, humiliating. So this sentence here that it's taught us humility, I can say that because I can't be God and have a God, right? I can't be the higher power and have a higher power. Someone can try to set me up on that pedestal, but in actuality, I'm not able to fulfill the things that I personally would seek a higher power out for, right? And so addiction has taught me to get out of the way. It's taught me that, yeah, you're not God. We're asking you to seek a God of your own understanding, right? Through prayer and meditation, maintain that conscious contact and ask for the knowledge of what God's will is for you instead of you creating your will, self-will. But to ask God, what is your will for me? Right? And with that knowledge, can I also have the strength and power, right, to carry it out? So my need to be at 150% is reduced. To bring my best to the table is always there, but 150% going above and beyond what is my responsibility in life, making sure nothing falls through the cracks, keeping the pieces together for myself and everyone in connection to me when you're dealing with non-committal individuals. If you stop your process, if you stop, this is what I found. If I stop compensating for the lack of others, some people aren't committed to this thing, right? Called life. They're not committed to being clean. They're not committed to spiritual principles. It's a dog eat dog for the world for them. So some people aren't committed, but they will ride. They will ride your waves as long as you allow them, because it creates a level of ease. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? I'm looking for the words, but the words are there. Don't be mistaken. They're there. It creates an ease for them to ride in your waves, right? If you're blazing the trail and you're going hard, it's easy for them to come in and make it appear that they actually worked, and they didn't. They benefited from your hard work. That's what happened. So by me coming to the point of understanding that I don't have all the answers and I'm teachable today, and that I can learn to live a new life successfully, is not, for me today, is not putting the drugs down and realizing that I don't have to use and not having a desire to use. For me today, it's about my relationships as it relates to other people, right? My relationships as it relates to causes, my relationships as it relates to especially caretaking for others that are dependent, and rightfully so, because they're children. But those inept parents, right? Those parents that aren't assuming their responsibility for those children are not also my children, right? So for me to admit that and be seeking answers, whether it be with my spiritual advisor, my sponsor, my counselor, or through just educating myself, I can see the codependent tendency is that, well, if I'm going to take care of these, I may as well take care of those. But actually, I don't have two children that legally are in my care and that I'm taking care of. No one else. No adult gets to ride the waves of this effort because it's enough. And sometimes it takes us coming into the program and sobering up in the sense of getting a clean mind and developing a desire to have a clean spirit and developing a desire to act and behave honestly. See, because you get a lot of people that talk about spirituality, but they're not honest people. And if you follow the breadcrumbs, you find that what they're presenting, right, it's not face value, right? What you see is not what you get. There's always something extra, and usually the extra stuff going on behind the scenes is not what they're bringing to the table with you. And so as you begin to become cognizant and learn discernment, you can also start freeing your energy and your time up to do the things that you really feel that God has led you to do, that you feel called to do. And it makes your recovery, it's made my recovery a lot sweeter. Every day is not a sweet day, right? Every day is not going to be the best day, but every day clean and every day with the open mind of being teachable, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, those indispensable spiritual principles, right? By me having that intentionally, because every day I wake up, I'm not, oh, okay, MightyStream, you need to be teachable today. You know, some days I wake up and the first voice that I hear can grate my nerves because I haven't had enough rest or I haven't had enough whatever. So every day is not a perfect day, but every day I'm committed to the process of recovery and becoming a better human being. And as a result of that, now my 150%, it may still feel like 150% because I'm bringing my best, right? But because I'm not engaging other individuals that are not bringing their best, my life is sweeter. My life is sweeter. When I start to allow myself to learn from my addiction, meaning I'm able to look at my past and see my patterns, and learn from them, then there's things that I don't have to repeat. Narcotics Anonymous has given me the tools that I need to move forward in life under the care of my higher power, whom I choose to call God, in trust and faith that no matter what or who's on my team, that as long as I've got God and you people on my team, I am going to be just fine. See, I can admit that I don't have all the answers, but I look and I listen to the experience of others, and I look and listen to the experience of my own past to help me build a better future. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to have a beautiful day on purpose. I hope you will too.